Thank you guys for watching another episode of Just Talks. Today with me, I have Adrian, Danny, Greg, and myself, as always, Jamal. Today in the title, as you can definitely see, we're going to be doing a little bit more of a rant with all of us of the things that people are talking about revolving around Colin Kaepernick and whether or not what he's doing is politically correct or whatever the term may be. And I think a lot of the issue is that people don't understand exactly what he is standing up for, like what he's standing up for, what he's fighting for, and what his message actually is. I feel like a lot of people believe that his image is to disrespect the flag, which it really isn't. And people that are fighting for it, like the people that fight in the army, they actually say that they fight for people to do stuff like this, and it just goes full swing. And he's doing this to stand up for people, well, African American people that are being murdered, and for lack of a better term, by police officers in the streets. It's been happening for years, but it's been this big thing that's blown up. And I feel like it's more of a ranting time than an actual, it's kind of a conversation, but more of a ranting thing, because people our age aren't really talking about it. I feel like the thing that I've learned from Colin Kaepernick continuing to do this, and other athletes such as LeBron James and stuff like that have the platform to do it, they actually use their voice. We all sitting here have that voice now that we have this show and people watch it. So I wanted to see what you guys' opinions on this topic is and go from there.
I just feel like a lot of the people who's giving him heat for this is people, not to, I don't want to say all white people, but it's mostly white people who's giving him. He's a couple black people too who's saying things to him. But what I feel like is he's doing what people should do, which is a peaceful protest. He's not out causing riots in cities and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure people have their reasons of why they do it in them cities, like Ferguson and stuff like that, but he's not out doing that. He's using a positive protest. He has the right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. So for him to decide not to stand for the national anthem is not disrespecting the flag nor the country. He's just saying, why would I show respect for a country that don't show respect for the people and for the race that I'm from? You know what I'm saying? Some of my family is Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. They don't stand for the national anthem or the flag or none of that. It's the same thing as a religious preference. And I feel like the people who's talking bad about it are trying to sweep the problem under the rug. They're trying to, that because they don't understand. People fear what they don't understand and fear what they don't know. So I think they feel like because he's bringing this stuff up and is actually bringing these problems to light, they're trying to take away from the fact that he's doing something peaceful and he's putting something on notice, but they're trying to, take it to a whole nother level. Like, when you ask somebody something and they circle around the question, they're circling around the problem by not, answering his questions.
Exactly.
Or
trying to hit you with
speaking
something
directly what he's
relevant.
saying. So what their way of circling around is trying to flip it on him and say, oh, well, you're disrespecting the people in the army. He didn't say not one thing about anybody in the army. He didn't say anything about, oh, I don't like the flag, I don't like the song. All he said was, why would I, basically saying the song is contradicting what the country is actually doing. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? But you got people like Donald Trump who says whatever he wants and says all these blatantly racist things. And I don't see, and people is really gonna vote for this man to be a president, but people got so much to say about Colin Kaepernick, and it's sad because there's even people of color who's coming at him, like certain NFL players, talking about, well, he's not even fully black because he's half white. That has nothing to do with it. At the end of the day, he's a man. He could be a white man saying this. I would have respect if a white man brought these problems up, a Chinese man, whoever, black man, whoever. But I just feel like because he's the only one, I won't say he's the only one in sports, but because he did such a bold move, and it took a lot of courage to do that, and then now you got this man getting death threats at his house and stuff like that. I feel like that's unnecessary, and I think that's them just sweeping the problem under the rug, and it shouldn't be like that.
People overlook the whole fact that people who argue against what he's doing overlook the fact that we do live in a country where we do have the freedom to express ourselves, whether you agree with something or you disagree. What about the countries where people get slaughtered for making a statement such as taking a bow or talking out against somebody that's in your community? You feel what I'm saying? So I feel as though Americans should still be aware that he's doing He's doing his part on making a statement on the issue. You're making a statement on the issue as well. Grant the fact that you guys both have the freedom to express that. Again, he did not. Again, I feel as though he did not disrespect the flag. You feel what I'm saying? He basically what he's doing is basically stating that there's an issue and people need to pay homage to it, respect it, acknowledge it, and help deal with the issue. And on top of that, he's a figure. He's an icon of some sort. He's not the greatest NFL player of all time, but people watch him. People buy his jerseys. You feel what I'm saying? And yes, his jersey sales have gone up, and people have used that as ammunition to say that, oh, he's trying to make a publicity statement for himself. No, it just so happens that because he did what he did, his jersey sales went up. And it should be going up, you feel what I'm saying? Because now he can be looked at as a person in our society who's taking a stand against the issue. You feel what I'm saying? And we all have stuff to say about it. Granted that our generation they're not doing shows like us or, putting their voices out there. We all feel some type of way about it. You feel what I'm saying? And we all should be voicing ourselves and voicing our opinions and bringing attention to the subject.
Yeah. Like one of the biggest things that like really frustrating about the whole thing is the people that have comments about the things that's going on, they'd rather judge Colin Kaepernick, but when the issue comes up, they don't say anything. Like I understand, like there's a bunch of people, I can't think of all their names, and sorry that I have to call her out, but Kate Upton was one of those people that posted on Twitter. She had a couple of tweets saying it was 9/11. She's saying, "Oh, don't do this on 9/11 when you're supposed to be respecting the flag." And my thing is like, okay, yes, you're entitled to your opinion, but you don't get what he's saying anyways. But you're entitled to your opinion. But when something happens to where this is why they're doing this, why they're taking a knee during the national anthem, and the issue happens, like what happened in Tulsa, what happens in the other place, you don't say anything. Like you're AWOL from all social media. You don't use social media. You might post a picture of yourself on vacation or something, but you don't understand that this is why. You don't go back and take back what you're saying. I was watching the video and this guy says once you make a comment like that about a big situation, you entered yourself into the conversation to be continued to be asked those questions, which I believe is completely true, because if not, you shouldn't have said anything in the first.
Colin Kaepernick, he kneels. He sits and kneels, and you're saying he's like disrespecting the flag. He's not disrespecting anything. He's at least he's sitting and kneeling. It's not like he's like making too much noise or like blah blah. Like he's saying like he's acting like a kid about it. He's sitting for what he stands for. It's a silent protest, and it should be good. Like y'all saying like kneeling is a bad thing too, but y'all kneel to the women y'all love when y'all ask her to marry you. Y'all kneel to kings and queens. Y'all
praise God.
Yeah, y'all kneel to praising God. I'm not saying he's all this, but like he's at least he's kneeling. It's not like he's, like I said before, making too much noise or like
to the side
yeah,
on his phone,
yeah,
talking to
he's
TV and stuff. He's got at least got the decency to be quiet. Like
Yeah.
He ain't grabbing a mic and talking smack.
Yeah, he's not saying you want
this country.
No, he's not being. I'm not gonna say anything.
He's not being belligerent.
He's not being Kanye. He's being respectful about it. He's sitting just like this, sitting there, watching everybody, waiting for the game to start. And for coaches and colleges that are saying, and like coaches, every coach basically, not every coach, but coaches that are saying this, they're saying, a lot of coaches are saying, I'm not starting my starting players if they sit or kneel during the flag. That's stupid too, because those players are seeing what Colin's doing. They're basically doing the same thing. They're saying this is what y'all should be aware of. This is what's happening. This is why we are sitting in silence.
When when enough is enough.
Exactly.
Yep.
And what I've noticed a lot now is that a lot of teams, instead of doing that, they're standing and they're holding hands together. And that's even better. I mean,
empowering.
It's empowering. And this all started because he sat down. Like, it's basically
it takes one sometimes.
It takes one, exactly. It took Malcolm X, it took Martin Luther King to do that one action to have equality throughout America.
I think like in a whole, nobody has the answer yet. That's the only thing. Like people were coming together and they keep asking these people that are in power because of who they are, like LeBron James, like what is the answer to this? And nobody honestly knows the answer. But it's good to see people come together, like you were saying. I think that what should be done is, first and foremost, going to like police brutality and all this stuff. People, they're getting away. It's basically like they're getting away with it. And I just feel like the thing is holding these people accountable. And it's good to keep the conversation going. And I know that people will say, like Greg was saying earlier, it's sad to say, and it's like you don't want to really say it, especially when you have friends and close people that you're close to on both sides, like being African American or like Caucasian and stuff like that. You don't want to say that. It's just that more people have to get into the conversation of all races and not just black people. And I was talking to my friend who is a white man in America. He's about our age, and he said it. I didn't influence him to say that, and he was saying that it's just that white people are afraid to talk about it. And when they do talk about it, they try to brush it off and think that it's really not an issue because it's not going on with them, or they'll bring up an issue when it has happened, and they'll say don't worry about it because it's happening. My thing is, if it's happening to whatever race, it's just we have to start holding police a little bit more accountable, and the excuses that they're coming up with for these situations have to be taken out of the equation, you know. And the last thing I wanted to say was something that I think could really help is taking away. We talk about equality and how we're all equal. Take away the factor of I'm black or I'm white or I'm Hispanic. Like when you do, like we fill out applications for jobs and they ask those questions. If you take those questions away, it takes away that value, you know, and it makes us all equal to each other. Because you're not seeing this for you see the person for who they are at the end of the day. So that's how I see it, and I think that's how it should move forward from here on out. But we would definitely like to know what you guys think. So definitely leave a comment below or wherever you're watching this video. Thanks for watching another episode of Just Talks. Peace until next time.